Commercial free. Mike Flory coming up at 8 o'clock. It's time for your favorite local segment of the week in the Metroplex, Neighborhood Watch.
We need to take people out of their bubbles and their safe place and make them think about the world we live in.
You are fake news.
So what do you guys hear? What's the scuttlebutt?
Oh, baby. We've got an old green thumb battle.
Oh, yeah.
In today's Facebook community group post of the week. This one blew up. In fact, I went and checked it a second ago on the North Texas Gardening page. That's where this one comes from.
Are you a member?
Nice. No, I am a member of the Southern Lawn Syndicate.
Oh, okay.
126,000 members here on this North Texas
Pepe,
Gardening.
have you joined any of these now with your own backyard?
No, I'm Justin Ruckwallian, baby. We're keeping to one Facebook group message.
This one caused so many outrageous, head-butting fights in the comments, they had to lock the post. I just looked at it. They've locked the post. They're not letting anybody else comment on it anymore.
What?
This is great.
Okay, so here we go. This one comes from North Texas Gardening, and we've got a picture that Ryan's going to throw up there. This was a picture that was included on the Facebook post, and this is what it says.
Is it a bunch of gray flowers like Peyton's
See
face?
that? It looks pretty normal, right? There's some muddy territory, and then there's some rocks on a clear property line where the fences meet. And it says, okay, so my next door neighbor decided to have this done today without even mentioning it. I had been seeding and trying to get grass to grow between our houses there, and I'm guessing he got tired of the mud pit like I did. I know no codes were violated. However, he consistently does S like this to cause me more hassle. Question, how do I combat these stupid rocks and build my ground up higher so this doesn't affect us? Also, the company that came and did the work left dirt all over my AC unit and piled leaves 6 inches thick in front of our gate and left them. Also accepting any tips to plant things that'll annoy him in the rocks. Sometimes after 17 years of BS, people have enough. Appreciate any advice. However, let it go is not an option before you suggest it. So I don't own.
So what is happening here?
Okay, so the left is those tiny little pebbles. It could be crushed granite. Could be just pebbles.
That's a driveway?
No. That's it's gravel.
Side of the house.
This is between the houses.
Yeah.
Right. The left side is little rocks, little tiny rocks.
All right.
Had been mud.
And there's a divider in the middle.
Okay.
The right side is this poster's
Brick.
mud pit of a yard.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the brick? That's
The brick is the house.
The other house.
The brick is the side of the house. So you got far right brick side of the house, posters grass between the houses, and then there's a divider, and then the other person put gravel there, and then on the left side of that, it's not pictured, but it would be their house.
Okay.
So he's been seeding the area, trying to get grass growing. He is annoyed that the guy on his own property put little rocks down. So he's saying he ruined this. He's been doing this to me. How can I plant things in his rocks on his side of the property to annoy him and get things going? I have an issue. I don't live in a home. I don't own a home.
Kenny.
My like all three of you, so my opinion may not be valid here, but the gardening dude seems like a baby back B word to me.
The gardening dude who's posting this?
Yes. Who's saying, how do I, this guy should have ran this by me to put rocks in his own yard.
Okay, first of all, he could put all the grass seed down he wants. That is a heavily shaded area. Bermuda grass does not grow there. He needs to put down zoysia.
Oh, here comes the green thumb flex.
That's number one. Number two,
Flex it on a child.
how do you get?
Flex the thumb.
There you go, baby. How do you get your ground up? We have expansive soil in Texas. It's going to grow anyway. It rises. If you ever notice these older homes, when you're walking to the sidewalk, they'll have like 6 inches of grass. The grass line, the dirt will be like 6 inches higher than the sidewalk, because the grass grows, like the ground grows, the dirt. It's expansive, so it's going to happen. It's going to grow anyway. Yours grows, his is going to grow. Just put the same rocks down, dude. You could try all you want. You're not going to get grass to grow between houses the way it grows in a heavily sunned area unless you're putting down a shaded grass. And you're not going to do that with just grass seed. Go get yourself some sod. It's like $1.50 per sod piece. And go get some zoysia and take care of it. Very simple.
214 says, I would beat that poster's ass. 469 says, sounds like an episode of Fear Thy Neighbor. Somebody's going to end up dead. 817 said, just fill your side with gravel and call it done.
Yeah.
Sean, how would you feel about this? Would this annoy you? Like, I feel like it's somebody else's property line. What do you care?
Yo, man, it's your property. You can do what you want on your property.
And he's the one.
Period. End of story.
He's the one talking about reaching over and then seeding the guy's side of his yard or whatever else. Peyton, as somebody who's working in the yard a lot, not very effectively, there's a lot of holes in your ground right now, so maybe you're not the person to ask. But how would you approach this?
I mean, I know she said, or he or she said, don't, just say let it go. I would just let it go. Look, I mean, it's their yard. They can do whatever they want. If they want to put rocks over there, it's not a big deal to me. I'm not big into the grass, company like Choppy. But I mean, something that I have an issue in my yard, kind of like this, is there's a tree in the neighbor's yard that's like grown over into my yard, so it's cutting off into some of my grass. And so it's like, do I have the right to just chop it down if it's over in my yard, or should I ask them first?
Great question.
Yeah, I've never had. I mean, I've had a tree that was in my yard that grew into somebody else's, and somebody else's tree into mine, and I never cared. I never did anything about it. So I don't know what the proper answer is.
So this happened to me.
I would say, in common sense would dictate that I can cut the tree straight along down my fence line. You know what I mean? Now I would say to the neighbor, "Hey, this is coming over a little bit. Are you okay if I cut this?" And hope that makes them maintain it. Go ahead and cut the tree themselves if it's bothering you or it's shedding leaves and falling into your yard or whatever. But I think common sense should dictate if it crosses the fence, I can cut it down that line.
According to Texas law,
Oh, Lord.
a neighboring landowner has the right to trim or cut off the limbs or branches of the tree to the property line.
That's right, Texas.
Let's go.
However,
Screw. Yeah.
if you injure
California.
if you injure the tree,
Uh-oh.
right? If you
What does that mean?
well, if you
feelings.
cut it off and then the tree gets a disease or dies because you cut too much off or whatever, you could be sued. for that.
Well, how am I supposed to be able to tell the tree's going to get pneumonia or MOVID?
Yeah,
how am I supposed to be able to tell if it's going to get sick and die?
214 says don't ask, Peyton. Inform before cutting.
Yep.
But it's on your side. You don't have to ask. Just tell them you're going to.
Yeah.
But give a little courtesy, but don't ask them for permission because it's hanging over your. That's how my dad did it at our house growing up. He would just, if stuff was hanging over and he wanted to cut it, he would tell them I'm cutting it, and so I'm not gonna go to your yard, but on my fence line, it's getting cut. And
Yeah,
so
but I
that's
shouldn't even have to cut it either.
Because you're going to struggle to grow grass underneath that.
And that's the thing, is it wasn't me that had an issue with it. It was the property manager that came over and he said, hey, keep an eye on that tree. It's getting over in your yard and it's starting to cut up, discolor on the grass a little bit.
This is one of the very few instances, very few, because they're the devil, except for my new group, because I know one of the guys in the group, where an HOA can come in. Maybe this can help you a little bit.
Yeah, it might be able to.
Where you're like,
yeah,
look,
I would talk to him.
This looks ugly. This tree's over. These stones, these rocks, not good for the neighborhood. They want everything uniform. They want everything to look the same. So maybe an HOA could help out. Let's go.
All right, it is the Neighborhood Watch here on 105.3 The Fan. Franklin Frankel Injury Attorneys text line if you want to weigh in on any of this. 877-881-1053. 877-881-1053. From CBS News, this went national. Over the weekend,
My report.
well, I mean, that certainly did, but not this particular one. You get what you pay for, right? Unless you live at the Continental over on Commerce and St. Paul in downtown Dallas, right around this corner from us. These luxury apartments that, if you go on their website, boast all about the income minimums to live there and everything else,
Continental.
had over 40 cars broken into over the weekend. And I mean, Ryan, I think Ryan's got video of it too that had been posted. Look at this. Smashed cars where people in this parking garage just absolutely you've got, and I mean, it's not just broken windows, it's like side mirrors ripped off the cars, just smash, grab, everything else. So Dallas police confirmed they were called to the scene at about 2 a.m. when they witnessed multiple cars vandalized. According to CBS, residents reported that owners of about 40 cars fell victim to smash and grab burglaries, leaving tenants concerned about their safety and security. Apparently this was something where, and this is not the only instance of it, because I found another post on Reddit and I had reached out to somebody about this who had lived in this complex. There was a separate complex in Dallas that had 47 cars broken into this weekend as well.
Wow.
And they said that theirs was related to the fact that their gate to the parking garage at a luxury apartment had been broken for months. They had done nothing about it, so people were able to just walk right in and start vandalizing the car. And somebody on Reddit had replied and said, as a cop in DFW, unfortunately, this happens regularly throughout the Metroplex. I see the bolos. I've responded to online security calling us, and we arrive. And about half the time we catch them, when we catch them, we look at their criminal histories. They're usually between 18 and 23 years old with extensive burglary of motor vehicles in their background. We take them to jail, charge them with the same crime they've been charged with all over the Metroplex. They make bail the next day. and off they go. That's generally
Well,
the
if you do it
process
the
that's been going on.
second time, you should be in jail for a little bit.
Should.
You know,
They're not. They're. This is just a thing that happens all over. They're just not prosecuting non-violent crimes anymore.
I mean, stop taking out, stop taking out the laws on my guy Rashid Rice, and let's focus over here on the
Yeah.
car garages.
Yep.
I'm just joking. I didn't realize Rashid Rice would be 8 felonies. None of my jokes are landing quickly with the guys today.
yeah.
but
If that's not 8, if that's not a felony, what is this? If that's 8 felonies, what the heck is this? 47. This is 47 felonies.
But I never have anything in my car that you would want to break in and get. I never have anything valuable. Now, I don't play golf, so I don't keep golf clubs. I don't have kids that play youth sports yet, so I don't have baseball stuff. I don't have fancy stereo equipment. I always take my computer inside. Like, I don't know. I'm just cognizant of it. Like, I don't want to leave this. Maybe sometimes the iPad, but every time we go somewhere, my wife hides it under the seat. Like, I never have anything in my car that you would peer inside and want to break in and get.
I don't either. Maybe some chairs. But I've already gotten those stolen from me.
Chairs.
Like
Oh,
those fold-out chairs I got for baseball.
Like,
I
what do
don't
you think
even
are the
have-
most-
I don't even keep my golf clubs in there anymore.
What do you think are the top 3 most common things that are broken into cars for? Stereo equipment? Like sunglasses?
I guess it depends. So growing up, like when I was younger, I mean, I felt more comfortable and it never caused a problem. I never had to do it. I used to because I was worried about forgetting my wallet. This is probably why I forget my wallet now as an adult. I used to leave my wallet right there in the front seat. It was just like go inside and whatever. And I never had a problem with it, but it's like a different era. So, I mean, if you're over at the Continental or Skyline Farmers Market or whatever, they had 80 cars broken into this weekend, and it's an issue.
What else do
The
you think?
catalytic converters, people are just stealing those things left and right, and they're
you can do
quick.
that. Yeah, you can do that in like 2 minutes, apparently.
DFW security, man. I'm telling you.
That's what it is.
And they apparently put like motion detectors now in cars. Not that these cars were taken, but you can see if your car's moving.
My
Like,
nephew has
get the alert.
He could see all 4 sides. He has one camera,
Yeah.
but it's got 4 cameras on it, so it's one major thing, and it records everything. Everything.
What story were we talking? Oh, the Terrell Suggs story. That guy who got into it with Suggs had video and audio somehow in the front of his car.
Dash cam.
Yeah, a bunch of people texting in on the fan text. It's guns. People are breaking in to look for guns. A lot more people carry nowadays. They're looking for weapons.
That's very interesting.
Really?
Thank
Wow,
you,
makes
Fantex.
sense.
I'll tell you what was overrun though. It wasn't just the parking garages at Skyline Farmers Market and everything else around here. It was also the parking lot at HEB in Fort Worth, baby.
Yeah.
Fort Worth has an HEB at Alliance Town Center, and this thing apparently got out of control. So HEB opened in Fort Worth yesterday.
One day
And
I'll get one.
At
One day I'll get one
6
close to
a.m.,
me.
the parking lot was completely full, and they had a line wrapped around the building, and shoppers were freaking out about. Look, I love HEB, and I've like had an awareness of HEB for like my entire life because I was in Austin when I was really young, and so it was around there and everything else. But is it a little overrated, Chop? It's great. It is great.
Sarah went yesterday because that's about 10 minutes from us.
People
and
lose their minds over it.
She couldn't get in. Like, it was too crowded. Like, so she went.
They have a bouncer outside the door.
You should have seen she wanted to go buy this chicken because she usually goes to the one out in Weatherford, which is on her route, and she goes to buy this chicken for dinner, and she had to go somewhere else, and like the disgust. She goes, "This is so substandard. I had to get my HEB chicken," and it's like you could tell, like it's different. Like you could tell, like it's just a better quality versus where she went. But I've actually never been to one. There's never been anyone around where I live, and I'm not going to go. I don't need to go to a grocery store, in Weatherford or wherever. That was the closest one to our house. So I've never gone to one.
I've never been inside one either.
Never.
Pull Kenny.
Never.
I've never been inside one, no.
Yeah.
No.
That's probably shocking. I don't know if you could find a group. Ryan, ever? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, look at him. He's
Ryan
got
says
video.
yes.
Look, Ryan, I didn't even send him video of this. Look
I don't know if
how
you could
on top of
find
it is.
a group of 3 people who have never been inside of one. I just don't have one close to me.
You've been to Buc-ee's, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what Buc-ee's is to gas stations,
Yeah.
HEB is to grocery
I
stores.
Instacart it all the time.
It is a great store.
I pay the extra fee because they had like these little Matt Pittman like turkeys. The turkey I brought in,
Yeah.
they gave to Corey Majors and smoked and everything. They got little turkeys. Everyone talks about their meat selection. Well, look, I can always hit up our Tolo Kroger, who brings us the Valentine's Day flowers that all y'all take home instead of let me get.
See, you called out that day, not our fault.
Flowers don't die the next day.
Well, I mean,
you could have put them in the fridge.
we were looking out for you. You had complained about sinuses. We figure, stuff coming off the flowers was going to be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
We were worried about that. So the average Walmart neighborhood market is about 50,000 square feet. Okay, so think about the size of a Walmart neighborhood market.
There's one right here off 75.
The line wrapped around this HEB for a half hour is a 125,000 square foot building.
It's huge.
And it was full.
It
They
is
said we have
massive.
too many people in here. You guys can't come in. It's at a line wrap around the exterior of the store 10 minutes before it opened at 6 a.m. The line started near the produce entrance on the east side and stretched along the facade, rounded a corner to the drive-through pharmacy lane, and extended past the drive-up window.
Yeah, I will say this. This is society in general. There is nothing that's going to get me to line up at 6 a.m. around the store for. There's no store. When you open up a restaurant, I remember when, what's that place? When BJ's first opened.
Brew House?
Yeah, by me. It was like people had never seen food before. They'd never eaten before. And you couldn't, it would take you 2 hours to get in there for a good year. The wait was an hour or two. I was like, what are we doing? Like, we've had food. Like, relax. Like, it's 6 a.m. What are you doing there at 6 a.m.? It'll be there when you get off work.
Yeah, see, I don't even show up to work before 6 a.m. I'm not going to stand in line at a grocery store. Last one here. This is from Fox 4. Stones from the Grapevine 9/11 Flight Crew Memorial have been stolen. So this is pretty disappointing. Grapevine police are looking to find the people responsible for stealing items from
Probably
the
used at that guy's house. The rocks.
city's 9/11 Flight Crew Memorial. On Monday, police were told that 2 stones were missing from the memorial site on Texan Trail, and these 2 stones came from the sites of Flight 93 and then the Pentagon.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with the stones? What benefit do you get to stealing them versus a fast pass to hell? Doing that type of thing, in my opinion,
You're just
that
a bad
gets you
person.
straight to hell.
You're a bad person.
You're an awful person. Here's what's also disappointing. Apparently, this was pointed out by
Are
people.
they big? Are they large? Is there any way that this could have been mistaken? Like they didn't intentionally try to take 9/11 stones?
And that's one of the things that they talk about. They say that people don't realize what's there. People come here for it. Like the only people who come here know what this is, know what it's here for. It was actually found out that they were missing by people who weren't even from here. They were visiting from out of town to be here for the eclipse, and they were like, oh, let's go to the 9/11 memorial over here. They were looking for things to do, went into Grapevine, found it, and then alerted Grapevine police. They're like, hey, y'all know y'all's stuff is missing over here. So Grapevine police are working on it. The Flight Museum is very happy, and the Flight Memorial is very happy that Grapevine police is working on it, because this has been overlooked in other cities before. But Grapevine police is looking for the people who stole it.
The Neighborhood Watch with Bobby Belt every Thursday during the commercial-free Expressway here on Sean and RJ. Mike